Is this what you want? Is this really what you want?
I thought, selfishly, I thought this was to make myself a name or to, I guess, fix things I did in the past, but I can't fix them. They happened, and I just, I just want to make sure you'll always be there. That's, that's what I'm doing. I want to make sure you live.
Well, if that's what you want to do, Vito, I can't stop you.
I promise I'll be back.
He smiles, and then he puts his hand on your hand, and he says, a little tearfully, "You can't promise me that. But thanks for saying it anyway."
He's going to take his hat and put it on Solaric's head.
Ah, would you kiss already?
Does the gimmick say that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like it's like you're married or something.
I mean, yeah. I mean, if you lean in, he will give you a kiss.
Yeah,
If you lean in.
Vito's just hugging Solric, and he's not really letting go anytime soon.
Jules picks up and says, "So if we are not going back to the way things were, what is the plan? Where are we going next?"
Oh, first,
Go ahead, Gil.
I'm an AI. Let's get that out of the way. Go on.
True. Yes.
Vic again. It looks. He opens his mouth as if he was going to ask a question, but then he stops himself, and then he says, "I will put that away and deal with that later."
We
So,
can process that later.
what is our next move?
So the plan has not changed. We're gonna go back to Ilium, get all this equipment from Binary Helix, assuming it's still there, assuming the Shadow Broker doesn't send people there before us and they take all the shit. We can message Alan and tell him, look, unless it's us, don't let them in. And then we're gonna find the Angaran Ark. Speaking of which, yes, aliens from a different galaxy are here. Explain you that more later. That's something you need to put up there for later as well. Then when we find them, we need to figure out how to beat Lun, who is the person who brought all this red lyrium stuff, the stuff that we're having you make that lenses out of, to this galaxy, has used it to supercharge himself into a biotic god, as much as I hate saying that phrase. And yeah, we kill him. That seems like the plan to me.
Great, Joel says. When do we leave?
When my knee heals, and when you have those lenses ready.
Zadriel says, "Can't you heal on the ship?"
Yeah, I could, but hey, if you have better equipment here than you would on the ship, Jules, you're gonna need all the advantages you get, considering what you said about the delirium.
That's true. You think it'll take how long for you to heal up? Out of character, like another 2 days or so.
Like 2 or 3 days at most.
All right, so I guess that'll give us time to make some preparations.
I also need to go out and get a few friends some favors.
Sounds good. So we're in agreement then.
Yeah.
I also need to tell Koalan about this and the fuck. That's going to be an awkward conversation.
So you will all start to do your preparations for the next 2 days. Is there anything I need to know about specifically that you haven't already said that you're going to do for the next 2 days?
Did Koalan arrive that day?
I'm sorry, Koalan will arrive.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Koalan will arrive eventually, and you can fill him in on what's happening. He, of course, is going to want to continue completing his mission.
Yeah. When he gets there, Vito, it's a little odd to see. Like, Vito walks closer and like raises his arms, but then doesn't, and then it's incredibly awkward. But he eventually goes to hug Colin.
What's with the weirdness, Vito? He'll notice it because he's got good insight.
I never know how to instigate hugs. I'm glad you're okay.
Well, as of late, I haven't really been one to instigate a hug myself.
Oh,
Hugs. You know, now that I think of it, hugs aren't really a thing in Solarian culture, are they? We just do without. I never really understood why people just press themselves against me, but it feels comforting. I guess that's the human part.
Yes. Well, as a species who has a tendency to stay in their suits 24/7 for majority of their life, assuming they're not on their home planet, hugs are not necessarily as meaningful, I suppose, as for other species.
I love a good hug. Background somewhere.
Yes, I will admit that as hugs go, you do give very good ones, Vito.
Thank you. I'm glad.
Take that as a grain of salt from someone who doesn't particularly give or receive hugs.
He's going to turn to Solar. Do I give good hugs?
I think so.
yeah, I stole your technique.
The awkward just where do I put my arms? That's the that's the
Yeah.
technique.
All right.
When they hug, because Vito had the crystal, the blue crystal, does something
Yes.
happen? No.
Oh yeah, right.
Who has it? Oh,
Vito
yes.
was wearing the crystal.
So
Colin's wearing a suit though, so he's insulated.
True, but
It's like energy thing. I don't know.
yeah, well, Koalin is wearing a suit.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna say nothing happens.
okay.
Koalin's wearing a suit. Very good question though.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that.
Yeah, he's wearing a suit, so nothing happens. And then I'm sorry, was there anything else that you guys were gonna say with Koalin?
Well, we got a speed, I guess, and I want to get his opinion on things.
Yeah. You'll get him up to speed with everything, and he'll say, well, we've been officially relieved of our duties, but as a Justicar, I still feel very responsible for what we started. So if you all decide to continue with this mission, then I will certainly be happy to assist.
What did the order say?
They told me that I should continue investigating the disappearances of these biotics anyway, with or without, which is completely separate from anything that the Shadow Broker assigns me. So in a sense, I'm supposed to be looking for solutions to that conflict anyway.
Don't you think this is a bit strange?
Yes, something clearly has happened, I believe. I don't know what. Maybe they've got wind of new information? I don't know.
Well, Shias didn't seem at all happy to let us go, so she also didn't say anything about not continuing, so I'm going for it.
I have a feeling, during the short amount of time that I've gotten to know Shias, that she is probably rooting for us to continue on as well.
Mm-hmm. All right. You got 2 or 3 days, Qualin, to get things sorted. After that, my knees will be healed, and we'll have our lenses ready to go, and then we'll be heading back to Ilium.
Of course. Yes.
Hopefully, there'll be a cure ready for us. I've already sent out the the elf fruit. He says it in quotes. Alan told me it's like the code name for it. He's calling it that. And we sent it out already, so it should be there and should have a day or two to grow it. Hopefully, you'll have enough ready for us to get a few cures going.
That would be wonderful. Gimmick, whenever you get back into the ship, you realize that something in the network of the ship feels different.
Oh,
And by that, I mean all of the cameras that were like the surveillance stuff on the ship that you recognize as being there from the Shadow Broker, they have all been deactivated.
really? Wow, okay. Wow, that's super strange. Would there... Nathan?
Yeah.
What would you think if I told you that the equipment that the Shadow Broker was using to spy on us was turned off?
I'd be happy with it. It means that he's not looking after us anymore.
Well, but...
It also means that, no, he's not interested in keeping an eye on us.
Well, that's kind of concerning for me. I mean, they relieve that from our duties, but why wouldn't they try to keep seeing what we are doing? I don't know. It's
Probably because they feel like we wouldn't go back to doing it. I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think?
Nathan, I'm going to let you keep your 20 insight. You're curious if Shias may have something to do with that.
ooh.
You're curious if Shias has something to do with that.
I wonder if Shias hasn't given us a parting gift.
Wow, I really need to buy her some shields as a gift later. Okay, just in case, we should remove those things. But this is really nice.
You could
Okay.
repurpose them.
So, you guys will start making your other preparations. And is there anything else that I need to know that is going to happen in the course of these 2 days before you guys start going to Binary Helix or wherever it is you're going?
So, out of character, I wanted to ask. So, the personal inquiry for Vito, which is knowing about their human DNA, what Shia said was that thing was voided, so there was
Yes.
no way.
Well, she said that she doesn't have the capabilities of acquiring that information.
She doesn't
now.
have the capabilities of acquiring that information at the moment anymore.
So wait, was
If we-
she also removed relieved from? Huh.
You don't know.
Would she be safe? Like, I mean, she may have her contacts and such, but
Where are you at, Shia? Yes, we have one more room.
yeah.
Come on board, hun.
You have a feeling she might be taking if Nathan is correct in that Shias did something to prevent the Shadow Broker's eyes from watching you or spying on you, then you believe she's probably putting herself at some level of risk right now.
Yeah,
Oh.
she's kind of going against her boss's wishes right now, so it's probably very dangerous for her to be doing this. But he appreciates it all the same.
Well, we have a lot of credits. Maybe we could find a way to help her somehow.
I don't think we can help her right now. Our best choice is to just finish the mission and hope that she doesn't get caught.
Well, I will try to send and keep the message telling her that if she needs anything, we are around.
That's a good idea.
Okay.
Before you guys leave, Solaric is going to talk to Vito before Vito heads out, and he's going to take a hold of Vito's hands. I guess we're saying goodbye for now again. Or at least see you later.
Yeah. We should be done soon. I won't be gone long.
Vito,
What?
maybe you could leave your hat as something to come back.
He already did.
He already did. He's
He
wearing the
already
hat right
did.
now.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Good, he says, because this hat is going to need you back very soon.
Yeah. I left home some movies that came from that other universe. I made sure I got a few.
I definitely will allow that to be a bit of a distraction. When you come back, I just want to let you know I'm ready to sign the papers for, our family.
I can't wait.
Me too. Me too. All right. Good luck. And I'll be here.
Okay. I love you.
I love you too. And he will lean in to give you a kiss. Goodbye. For now.
For now.
Goodbye, my lover. Goodbye, my friend.
You guys will go back into the ship, and we will say that where is, when you go over to the ship, I'm sure that Jules will see some of the things that Dia has done, and he will just sort of cringe and twitch and say,
I told you you wouldn't like it.
"Ooh,
Don't worry. I'll be forgetting the whole thing cleaned when we're done. Don't worry.
Dia's lucky that she's not feeling well right now and resting, so
Yeah.
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Let me just get myself set up and get to work.
Ooh, what room are you going to sleep in?
Yeah, because I
so-
think all the rooms
Yeah.
are occupied right now.
yeah.
So
Oh.
So
Would he have like a secret room that only he could open in the ship?
I don't think he
Oh.
would have a secret room.
but yeah, Vito
people might have-
proposes
Vito
Vito
proposes
proposes
what?
his room because he usually sleeps in the pool more than he actually sleeps in the bed nowadays.
Oh, okay, that's actually a good idea. So Vito's room could be Vito and Jules could bunk, but most of the time Vito might just sleep in the pool. So thank you for offering that, Vito. I will unpack my things then. Okay, so Jules is now officially a member of the crew. Ta-da-da-da.
New crewmate acquired. Jules.
Yeah. If Jules is to look, Vito's room is actually probably the least lived in. He probably kept everything. There's a poster on the wall. There's a picture of Solaric in a frame. But other than that, all of Vito's things are still in his suitcases. He literally has not pulled anything out. So it's kind of drab. Just a little. There's not that much going on in the room. So
Jules, when he's unpacking his things, he has a case. One of the things he brought is a very large case, almost like trombone case sized. And he's going to open it up, and you can see in there is a very fancy looking sniper rifle. Ooh. And he takes it out and he starts cleaning it. And he says, some of my fondest memories that I have had as a kid was my dad taking me out to go hunting. My dad loved love that sport. And I don't know, as a kid, he taught me to. He helped me use it as not only a way as a bonding experience, but also to help me cope with a bit of a birth defect. My hands as a kid tended to shake a lot. Since then, they've gotten medications that I can take every day to reduce that shakiness, but it definitely has helped me with my focus hunting with my dad.
That sounds like you two had good times. My mother was mostly busy. I guess Solarian families, you know how they are. I guess I was closer to my uncle Salai. He used to read to us. When my mother was gone, he'd sing lullabies sometimes. I always thought it was a Solarian song he would hum, but turns out it was human. Human classical piece, Jupiter.
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
Do you are you this might be a very weird, awkward personal question, but talking about my dad and you talking about your family, are you religious at all, Vito?
It's an interesting question. My family was not. I know some Solarians believe in a circle of life, similar to humans' Buddhism. It's not really a religion, more like a spirituality. Then again, Solaric is himself quite religious. Believes in the spirits of things. I'm not sure if I do. I did meet a god, though. So, I guess this changes things.
This was when you were in that other universe.
Yeah. Still a multi-dimensional god. So...
Traditionally, Astrals, we have quite a large pantheon of gods. Of course, when my father passed away, I would pray to Kalahira to guide him over to the next world, and all this talk about parallel universes and crossing over to other dimensions and all that stuff, I can't help but feel like maybe there is certainly something to the beliefs of another place that people go to after they die. Is it really that different, do you think?
You know, I think you're right. There could be something there.
They always say that you could never prove such a thing, but I feel like your group has done some miraculous things that we thought we could never prove either.
Yeah. Meeting gods. Traveling to some other places and... yeah.
Seeing and speaking to the dead.
Seeing and speaking to the dead.
Would that be... is that a scary thought for you or a comforting thought?
A little bit of both. Guess now that I know that I have human DNA, it makes sense that I was one of the only Solarians diagnosed with PTSD after Tuchanka, but sometimes when stress and paranoia runs high, I can still see them in the corner of my eyes. Angry.
That sounds a lot like Drell's photographic memories. We relive things. We see things again, vividly, as if they were happening to us all over again. I guess what I'm saying is, I can relate. Our entire lives, we relive experiences, impactful experiences, both good and bad. But it happens to us as part of our everyday lives. We're used to it. Maybe you two just have to come to terms with this as well, with the ghosts of your past.
Yeah. I think eventually I'll come around to it.
Jules will say, this ability, this gift, some people call, to be able to remember and recall things vividly. We try to tell each other that it is not a crutch, it's not a disadvantage, but it is an advantage that we can remember and relive important moments in our life. We let them empower us, not slow them down, not slow ourselves down. I think that if you can learn to face these ghosts from your past and embrace them for what they are, and not use them and not see them as things that taunt you, but things that encourage you, you might have a different perspective. At least the way Drell think of it, anyways.
Yeah. You're right.
You Solarians tend to live shorter lives, so I think you being who you are and what's inside of you, you have a lot more room for more memories. And because of that, you'll have not only twice as many memories that are sad, that are frightening, but also twice as many memories that are pleasant too. You have to be able to be ready to accept both, because you can't have one without the other.
Yeah. I think I needed to hear that.
Well, just something to take in consideration. Well, I think I'm gonna go and finish getting myself settled here, so we'll talk later. When you guys are almost at Binary Helix, I'm going to say that Jules will summon the group, and he will say that he has a prototype. I have a bit of a prototype of lens that I'd like for you guys to take a look. And he will show you a small set of lenses that are like only a big. They're probably half the size of a standard eyeglasses, but they're enough for you to at least start to look through them. And he's got him in some sort of a frame that are very like intricately made, such that the frames are made of lead and some other material that he explains, is a compound that is supposed to prevent whatever radioactive like properties it has from transferring to someone. It should be protective. And he will offer the glasses to anyone who wants to try them. He will hand them over to Indy or Gimmick.
Oh, it would be, if it's in the ship, it would be Gimmick.
He'll give it to Gimmick, and he will say, again, this is just a prototype. Decided to start by trying to cut a lens of that size, and then eventually I might be able to cut fuller lenses in the near future.
Okay. Let me try them on, and you may put the glasses on.
You put them on, and immediately you will see the ship as it is, but you'll start to see like a red essency trail.
Ooh.
That like leads out of the room. A red essency trail that leads out of the room.
Where's that going?
Okay, then first, how do I look?
Striking.
Striking. There you go.
Thank you. Well, and now the important part. It seems like there is a marker. It seems like something that came out of a video game. So yeah, maybe we are the video game.
Everyone looks
Okay.
scared.
What?
But yeah, there is a red marker that I think it's guiding us to the core of this problem.
Where is it going?
Well, Gimme would try to guess because of the
Are you
direction.
following it? Are you following the trail?
Oh, it's like inside the ship?
It's like a line.
Oh.
It's like a trail
But I
leading
thought
out of
that
the
it
room.
guide me towards, I don't know, another galaxy or something like that.
I mean, it might lead you to another galaxy, but you don't
Okay.
know for sure unless you follow it a little bit more. If you want to follow it.
Let's try to follow it, and Gimme would follow the trail.
You will follow the trail out of the room, and it will lead you down to the recreational room.
Ooh. Let's see. It seems like there is something here that we should... There is anything, like, should I roll something to check around? Or there is, like, something...
I don't think there's anything.
Ooh.
I mean, do you go down to the recreation area?
Yeah, it's following the
I don't
trail.
think you need to roll anything.
Oh.
You'll get down there, and as you follow this essence, this red essence, which suggests to you that this red lyrium dark matter thing is airborne.
Ooh.
So it makes sense that it's spreading to biotics because it's just there, but nobody can see it. It's airborne. And you will follow it into the center of the pool, and there you will see a red silhouette of some creature, humanoid-looking creature,
Okay.
right in the middle of the pool.
Everyone that has biotic powers could, like, stay outside the room. There is someone here.
Vito was probably following Gimmick down,
What do you
so
think?
I can't see that person. Can you speak to them?
Well, I think I could go ahead and touch it.
Do you?
I could try.
You will go into the pool, and you will go up to the person, and you will touch it, but your hand will obviously go right through. Because they're not there. Their matter isn't there.
I am... Oh,
Vito's going to look down at the crystal, at the lyrium necklace he has. I think we need Nathan.
Oh.
You called.
He just pops in
Nathan
there.
just pops
Hi,
up.
guys.
Called?
The Angaran silhouette is still there.
Oh.
So Vito's just going to pull out the necklace and hand it to Nathan.
Wait. Last time, I mean, with the necklace, it was fine, so maybe there won't be any problem.
Hopefully not. Let's find out. And he will grab the lyrium.
You'll grab the blue lyrium again, pins the needles down your hand, and if you don't let go, you will find yourself back in the silence, back in the darkness.
Ooh.
But it'll be as if you are back in the dream. Now, those of people who are watching that are not Nathan will just see Nathan as he is. He hasn't physically gone anywhere, but Nathan is seeing himself, or at least perceiving this new dimension. And you can clearly see that the person is in front of you. And for whatever reason, Nathan, you can actually understand what the person is saying.
Oh.
And the person is saying, "Find them. Save them."
You want me to find your friends, right? The rest of the Angara?
Captured.
By who?
They've captured.
By who or what?
The one that breaks the shadows.
Lon.
What'd you say?
He says
Lon.
Lon. Like, does he? Yeah, he says Lon and see if he reacts.
Oh.
She says, "I don't know who that is, but it's the one that breaks the shadows."
The Shadow Broker?
Firebird. Center. Firebird, she says, pointing. And Nathan, you remember somebody telling you about a Firebird recently. Somebody told you about a Firebird very recently.
My
Do you remember who that was?
My brain. No, I need to roll something to see if he remembers.
Astra, do you remember who that was?
I don't think he would need to roll since it's soon. Like, it's technically not Nathan that's forgotten. It's Mikey.
Yeah.
But
Shit.
I don't remember if it was told to you or if it was told to Gimmick, but Imp said something about a Firebird.
Oh.
Imp said something about a
Oh,
Firebird.
yeah. It was told to me.
Yes.
But it was like Firebird. Oh, yeah.
Okay, so Nathan doesn't know, but hopefully you'll relay the information and Gimmick will remember.
Yeah.
So she will just say Firebird, Firebird.
Oh, shit.
the one that breaks the shadow. The shadow broker.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Nathan.
Nathan just rubs his face. He's like, okay,
Oops.
you're obviously no help to me right now. I'll be back, okay? Don't move. And Nathan will hand the jewel back to Vito.
Well, you can't see Vito, but
Pull out his
Yeah,
hand.
he's just shaking the thing like, grab it.
and you'll grab it from his hand. You
Yeah.
can feel somebody grab something from your hand, and then you're back.
Okay. Bad news. The reason that the Shadow Broker wanted us off of this case is because he's captured the Angara.
Oh.
What?
Yep. That figure right there, that's an Angara who's after telling me to find them. And I asked her who or what, and she said, the one that breaks the shadows. The Shadow Broker.
Wait. Don't you think? Maybe no. I mean, could Lan be?
I don't
mean,
think so. She doesn't know what that name is. She doesn't know Lun. And Lun would
Wait,
be
but how do you become the Shadow Broker?
you beat the last Shadow Broker.
Well,
Well, we don't know that, so.
Well, you don't know that out of character.
I don't know. Like, I assume it's some sort of like battle to the death sort of thing. Like, I don't know.
but oh no,
Look,
I don't know. Maybe there has been multiple. Maybe it's an Asari, so there's only been one in the past couple of
centuries.
centuries.
Well,
Look, it's not Lun. We know it's not Lun because if Lun was a shadow broker, why the hell would Lun hire us to go figure out his own issues?
well,
Why would
that's
Lun
what
hire us
we
to find him?
saw.
That just makes no sense. Like none of us knew about any of this before the whole explosion of Trebia thing. Now maybe if it is Lun, which I doubt at this stage, because if it was, the shadow broker would have vanished, and we would have had this whole thing about the shadow broker vanishing. We got paid. We still had our money. Shias is reporting to somebody who is reporting to whomever who is getting to the shadow broker somehow.
Ah,
The
this
shadow
is
broker
really
is still around.
complex.
Do we know of anyone who has tried to find the Shadow Broker recently?
Would
Well-
we know Shepard tried to find him?
Do you know where?
No, we wouldn't know that. Okay.
Oh,
Oh my
but-
god, can you imagine? Okay, we're going to get Shepard's help. Oh, I
Shepard
think you'd
pulls
just
out
be
a
like,
roll of-
get off my lawn.
Shepard pulls out a roll of duct tape. Do I have to keep fixing this goddamn
Well,
galaxy? Stay.
I can tell you at least out of character that the location of the Shadow Broker
Yeah,
in
yeah.
this universe is different from the location of the Shadow Broker in the game.
Yeah,
I can at least
that's
tell you
why.
that. Not
Yeah, I
quite
can
the
imagine
same.
it's a couple of years later and it's a completely other universe. So
Well,
Yeah,
each-
so it's
each
not in the same
broker might
place.
change its location because they can move.
Yes. Look, she also mentioned something about a Firebird. Anybody?
Gimmick, you'll remember that.
yeah. Oh, the signs.
Roll me an electronics gimmick.
Electronics. Also, I wanted to ask, like, gimmick evolving, gimmick like these powers, but they are not directly like biotic. They are something else, right?
yeah, they're ghost type.
Okay. Oh, another 20. Natural 20.
Okay. Gimmick, you definitely good idea. So you do some searching on the extranet of Firebird to try to see if you can find any results.
Listen,
You'll get a lot of different results because Firebird
Yeah.
can be anything really. But one thing that particularly catches your eye that you have a very good feeling about is that very recently there was a new constellation that astronomers have referred to as a Firebird
Ooh.
constellation. And the reason why they called it the Firebird constellation, not only because when you trace it, it looks like a bird in flames, but because the constellation, the center of the constellation is the sun of the solar system where Terves is located, which is the homeworld of the Reloi.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Oh, it would make sense. I mean, being close to the sun, it emits a lot of radiation, so it would be harder to track. Oh, wow, that's really clever. So I think we know where we had to go.
We should probably check in with binary helix first, though, shouldn't we?
Well, let's get our ducks in a row. So, where do we have to go to get this thing done? Like, how what's our end goal?
Well, we need the Angara so that way they can tell us about how they managed to get here and if Trebia was their fault. And on top of that, we need their help to beat Lun. They know the light energy, and considering biotics feed off of dark energy, maybe if we shot some light energy at him, it could disrupt him or injure him or something. We don't know, but they're the only people who would know.
Ooh, what if the Shadow Broker is symbiotic?
That's possible.
Oh, okay. So, we have to go to Helix first, then the Shadow Broker.
We're going to
And
buy
then-
it so we can get the cures because we've already sent out the elf fruit. They've been
Yeah.
growing those the last day and a half. Then we have to cure myself and Qualin in case one of us vanish off into the nothing because that wouldn't be very helpful. Then we need to give Alan those glasses so he can study more and get more data, get more accurate data. After that, then we will go find the Shadow Broker and rescue the Angaran.
Yay!
That seem like a plan to everybody?
Yeah, it's like a multiple layer complex and possibly like a suicide mission or something like that.
Maybe.
Let's hope not. Okay.
And you guys will very soon arrive at Binary Helix, his office, and you will get over to Alan. And Alan will be there, waiting for you. And next to him is this woman in a Binary Helix lab coat and glasses. And he'll say, "Oh, you guys have arrived. Welcome back. We've got a lot of information to give you. Oh, please, I'd like you to meet one of my colleagues here at Binary Helix. Her name is Sarah. Pleased to meet you," Sarah says.
Nice to meet you. Nathan.
She pushes her glasses up and says, "Nathan Callahan?"
Yep, that's me.
She says, "I thought you might be the same Nathan Callahan. You had a live stream a few weeks ago, and you were answering some questions.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know if you remembered, but I was one of the people who asked you a question over there about whether or not you had a brother or sister."
Oh, yeah, you asked me about my siblings. No, I don't have any, but you already know that. So.
Well, you already told me that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you remembered me. There were so many people who asked you questions.
Oh, it's nice to have a question, It's nice to meet you, though, and realize it's nice to meet you and, all that.
She'll smile. And at that point, she will then say to you, "I was put in charge of doing research on the tech that Alan had said you had brought in. It's some really incredible alien technology, I have to say. Wanted to show you something, and if my theories are correct, it could forever change everything about travel in the galaxy."
Okay.
She takes you over to a part of the laboratory, and you can see this device that is you can see the Omni tool. You can see Kasaja's Omni tool on this base. She will take what looks like a capsule in her hand, and then she puts it into the Omni tool, and then she will dial a few of the digits, and she says, "It took a while for me to translate how to exactly use this device, but I think I was able to unlock the code, especially with the translation data that you gave me." She presses a button, and a beam shoots out from the Omnitool looking device, and there's this big, ridiculously bright white glowing. I think she would have given you some sunglasses, some very special sunglasses first. "You might want to wear these." She gives you sunglasses, and there's this big white, very bright white gate looking thing. Do you know what that is?
It looks like a dimensional portal. Not to sound too sci-fi.
Technically. I'm assuming you all know what a black hole is.
Yeah.
Black holes are very relatively commonly known, especially in sci-fi. This is what we're right now calling a white hole. Something that a lot of scientists have theorized as well over the last several centuries, but they're not nearly as popular, at least in pop culture, as black holes. To put it in layman's terms, this white hole is a mini wormhole.
Like a stabilized, can walk through it safely?
Stabilized? Not yet. As in, I still have to do a bit of more testing before I'm prepared to send anything beyond a rock through it. But in theory, I think this is how your friends were able to jump from place to place in the galaxy. It doesn't allow you to travel too far, but it can send you a few light years away.
Oh, I was about to ask why Kasaj needed our help at all, but if you can only travel a few light years, light years are a long time, but not really when you're going between systems.
Well, it would be very useful if there's no mass relay.
True. So
What I'm trying to say is, there are coordinates that are built into his, I guess we'll call it, Omnitool device. And I think those coordinates just might take you back to where his people are.
You mean Andromeda? Or do you mean his ship?
Not Andromeda, that's way too far. Wormholes, at least of this caliber, like I said, can only take you a few light years. But I think this gate in particular is programmed to take him back to wherever their mothership is.
Mm-hmm.
The Angaran, I think you called it, mothership?
Yeah, the Angaran Ark, I think is how they put it. Yeah, it's very helpful there, actually.
I think I might be able to crack the code to be able to have you guys safely travel through this particular gate, but you only have a few tries. In with his device's belongings were these capsules that allow you to open said gate. Right now we've been doing a lot of tests on them, and we only have 3 capsules left.
And you can't reproduce them.
No. These capsules are made of a material that is not native to our galaxy. It's made of light energy.
Okay. This seems fair. Yeah, okay. How long do you think it'll take you to get all of this stabilized and working properly?
Within the next 24 hours?
Perfect. Thank you. Is there anything else?
Something like this, as you can see, is only big enough for you to allow a small ship to enter through, like out of character, like the type that they drive around.
Oh, the
Like
hammerhead.
in the city,
Shuttles,
like the hammerhead. Yes. So in other words, it will not be big enough for you to take the entire revolution through, but a small squad of people can go through the gate, which makes sense because Kasaj was a solo, so all he needed was a smaller ship.
Okay. Perfect. We have just the thing we need for that. All we gotta do now is get this thing stable and get ready to go. Is there anything else? Should we go talk to Alan, or do you have anything else you want to show us, sir?
I think that's all I got. So I'll let you keep you posted in the next 24 hours of my progress.
Thank you.
But
You've been a great help.
you will go to Alan, and Alan will basically tell you that if you offer the glasses to him, he definitely thinks he'll be able to get a lot more data about this. But he will inform you that using his tissue, using Logan's tissue, you do find out that he will tell you what Gimmick probably already knows, that the reason people are being infected is because this dark energy is airborne and infecting biotics and converting them into dark matter. And that is why people disappear out of nothing, because they essentially become dark matter and enter into this other state, the dark matter state. Hopefully, whatever you guys got them will allow them to find a cure. But once they've completely crossed over to the other side, there's no telling whether or not this cure will be able to help them.
Yeah. So we sent them the elf fruit via speed mail a few days ago, so they've already had it for 2 or 3 days by the time we get there.
Yeah.
So
It'll take some time for them to grow, but they believe within the next 24 hours, conveniently, within the next 24 hours, they'll at least be able to have enough grown to make 2 poultices. So, by the end of this session, you guys technically have a choice right now, as at least the GM thinks you have a choice. You can either A, go to the Angaran ship and maybe find the Angarans and get what information you need to get from them, or B, go to the Shadow Broker's lair and try to rescue the Angarans that were captured by the Shadow Broker.
Also, there are 3 people in our crew that are infected at the same time, and they
No,
can...
Dia was cured.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay.
Yeah, at first too, I was like, wait, only 2%?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Dia
Yeah.
already had one. Vito kind of slammed that down her throat.
Yeah.
I was just thinking though, didn't we kind of hypothesize that the Shadow Broker has the Angara? That's why we were going to go to his place.
You are of the understanding that there is the mothership of Angara, and then there's the mothership of the Angara, and there is the small group that went with the Pathfinder.
Ah, okay.
So I'm just going to tell you, just through Nathan's insight, that he believes that the woman who was yelling at him, something in your gut is telling you she's referring to the Pathfinder Angara.
Yeah.
Which is separate from the mothership Angara. So you have a choice of whether or not you want to go to the mothership.
We have to decide this session.
You have to decide by the vlog.
Oh, okay. Because
so I can prepare for next session.
Oh, okay. But can we ask Meg at least?
You can ask. Yeah, you can ask Mikhail. Well, at least at some point before the next session, let me know so I can prepare. But basically, you can go either path, and I'm not gonna tell you that just because you go to one means you completely block the other. They're not necessarily mutually exclusive, but
yeah,
you do have to decide if you're planning on doing both, which one you want to do first.
What I was thinking was we save the Pathfinder team first. That gives us a nice bit of rep with them, and then we go straight to the mothership, because we have Kasage's Omni tool, so we can literally set it up. That way we go to Shadow Broker base, we get the people out of there, hopefully, and then we immediately jump on the Revolution and we jump out of the system, and Gaius's interference with the Shadow Broker's tracking of us and all that, we can immediately jump into I think it was the Hammerhead that we have in our hangar, and leave some of our crew behind to keep the ship moving, and we can jump in through the wormhole and go to the Angara and mothership then once we've rescued the Pathfinder and all of that crew, if everyone is okay with it.
That's a very cool idea, though.
Well, if we have them, the Pathfinder team, they could guide us to the ship.
That's true.
That too. So
that too. So, but I leave it up. But it's your choice.
Yeah.
Ultimately.
Plus, I'm just saying, going to the Shadow Broker would probably let Vito scoop around a little.
Oh
yeah.
Jimmy wants to go to the Shadow Broker.
I mean, I think Nathan would actually kind of find it interesting too, because like as much as he's not curious about his family anymore, it'd be interesting to see if there's anything in there about him.
Yeah, knowing is. Yeah, I mean, technically, the Shadow Broker knows more about ourselves than we do. So.
All right.
Also,
so it sounds like. Go ahead.
You go ahead. It's fine.
So it sounds like our in-person session will be infiltrating the lair of the Shadow Broker.
Put DLC title here.
Don't let Vito drive any taxi, and we should be fine.
Yeah.
Oh, I'll never forget the taxi car chase thing in the lair of the Shadow Broker DLC.
You know, it's earlier, Hark, when you weren't here. Today is the 9th anniversary of Mass Effect 2 being released.
Oh, happy anniversary! Awesome.
Funny, isn't it? We're doing the Lair of the Shadow Broker stuff.
I know. That is cool.